as I cannot see those words. So I'm going to get on my handy dandy phone and go
Watching
from
on
there.
your phone.
Yeah, it's on my phone, but I'm saying I can't see them words. You know what I mean? You know I'll be wearing bifocals in the daytime.
Still,
Yeah, I can see it better. See it
I'll
better.
just start reading.
That's for sure.
All right. Our Earth and solar system were created 78 trillion years ago. As soon as the Earth was ready, 144 what's that? Thousand ancestors came from another star system. The star called Sirius that was worshipped by the ancient Egyptians. They inhabited the Earth after preparing it by seeding it with plant and animal life. After about 7,000 years since their arrival, their population increased from 144. Hey, I feel slow as hell. It's 144,000 or 144,000? 144,000, right?
Uh, yeah, 144,000.
Yeah, it's making sure. So it went from 144,000 to 1,000,000,008 million. Now, this number is the most sacred number in creation. It is the total number of original people who inhabited the first Earth of our universe countless trillions of years ago. Thus, every Earth inhabited thereafter keeps this number as their final and stable population. It was determined to be the ideal number of people that can inhabit a planet the size of Earth in a complete comfort without imposing on each other or on the natural resources, as well
Man,
as on
pause
the
right there.
animals and plants.
Pause
Uh-huh.
right there. This man just made the excerpt where he made the statement that 1,000,000,008 million is the comfortable number for everybody to live and exist on Earth. We got 7 times that, or yeah, roughly 7 times that. 7 billion people nowadays. That's crazy. All right, I just wanted to make that realization.
It was just very interesting. I wonder if this guy believes in population control or something.
Probably, I don't
Uh,
know.
it says so. Yeah, so one billion 8 million is the ideal number according to. And let me say this guy's name. His name is. Oh, well, is he uncredited? It's like Madi Mocho or something, but we're reading from Blackroot Science just in case someone
I'm
was
pretty
lost.
sure. I'm pretty
Um,
sure it's in there somewhere. It's probably like all the way at the end, but we'll get to it.
yeah. Um, and yeah, we're just reading the summary. So yeah, so boom. It was determined to be the ideal number of people that can inhabit a planet the size of Earth in a complete comfort without imposing on each other or on natural resources as well as on the animals and plants. That enables complete freedom of movement for all life on the planet, and this is essential for peace, prosperity, and spiritual growth, aka the gaining of knowledge. Okay, so why? He says the reason why the number is specifically 1,000,008,000,000 is described in the mathematics section of Blackroot Science. So I
Okay,
guess he's not going to
foreshadow.
go into too much detail, right? The first Earth mentioned above was created by the 1,000,008,000,000 original gods from the stars of the previous universe. They had existed in that previous universe toward its end, along with trillion upon countless trillions of other people in a state of mind called divine unity or the oneness of God. It is a state of mind where all the people in the universe unite as one. This one is God in truth, not the spirit God of modern religions. When the trillions upon trillions of people at the end of the previous universe were united as one, they experienced an indescribable expansion of their minds, which were as one mind. It expanded to such an extent that it not only circumscribed their entire universe, but it exceeded its boundaries by an immeasurable extent. The one mind or God became so large that the previous universe could no longer contain him/her. He/she felt a need for a larger universe in which the experience of life would continue. The trillions upon trillions of people, still united as one, then decided to abandon that universe. They consciously left their perfected bodies and rose in mind far above the universe. They then looked down on it and saw it as a small sphere, the way our Earth looks when seen from high above in space. Okay, now the mind is always attached to the body. There is no such thing as a mind without a body, as so-called spiritualists would like us to believe. The mind can extend beyond the outer reaches of space, even expand infinitely. But a magnetic attraction always attaches it to the physical body. The magnetic attraction dissipates at death, and the mind and individual personality or soul ascends. He says, I will discuss ascension at a later time.
Okay, so this concept of well, it ain't really his concept of death, but his concept of existence is that pretty much body and spirit in a gravitational pull. Like spirit is always trying to go out there and like do whatever the heck it wants to do in the spiritual realm. But when you wake up in the morning, it pulls you back into that physical from a gravitational pull. Okay. Okay. I'm vibing.
That's interesting. You got okay. So he says, "I'll discuss ascension at a later time." Then he says, "The unified mind of the people who were as one person, it was so immense that the stars appeared to be the size of atoms. As this person was contemplating the universal sphere, he/she saw that it was adequate for habitation as a new earth, with all the stars being its atoms. He/she made 1,008,000,000 new bodies corresponding to the size of the new earth, using some of its substance. Then he/she disconnected the magnetic connection to the old bodies and left them in the old universe. The 1,008,000,000 gods then descended upon the new earth into the new bodies and became the first inhabitants." Okay. The matter, the matter of every star and planet in the universe is created in 7 forms. In modern words, these are magnetism, electricity, ether, gases, liquids, and solids. The fourth substance, ether, is the central supporting substance. Okay, it is the womb of creation called space. It is black in color, as one can see by looking out into space at night. I mean, this absolute blackness called space not only supports the other substances, but it also gives individual color to all objects, because the color black contains all other colors in itself. Hence, when the 1,008,000,000 original gods made themselves new bodies, they covered them in skin whose color is black, getting it directly from the ether. Because the gods create all planets and animals from their own bodies, they need to have all colors stored in a single color and their creative germ, which is called the dark dominant germ or gene, the source of what modern people call melanin. Okay, okay, we still got much more to go in this summary.
And that's a dope religious like context of how black people came about. I mean, in my opinion, it was literally just like the sun burning the fuck out of you and your body just naturally adapting to it. But I can go with that too. The ether, you know what I mean? The God making it in the light of himself. I understand that too.
Yeah, so let's see. Yeah, so I'm not about to keep reading word for word. It seems like it's
I mean, you only got another page and a half, man. You're done. Probably take about what 4-5 more minutes.
All right, so it says, upon arriving on the first earth, the one mind of God incarnated instantly in 1,008,000,000 bodies. As already said, half of them were female and the other half were male. Each pair of male/female gods are called soulmates. They always create in soulmate pairs, even when in large groups. Because all creation has a male slash female or negative slash positive principle. Now, negative is not used in the derogatory sense, but as the complement of positive. The the 1,000,000,008,000,000 original people then proceeded to instantly create perfect plants and animals called the original totems, from which all evolutionary life forms evolved. They also proceeded to create new stars and planets around the first Earth by condensing part of their expanded mind. After living on that first Earth for more than a trillion years, they finalized the plans for the completion of a new, much larger universe. They then gave birth to their descendants and then passed out of life, ascended. Before passing, they established the Society of the Black Nation. They established it by withdrawing from or leaving their divine unity in which they had existed for over a trillion years. They did this in order to be able to bring new life into the world, new persons who had never existed before, such as you and me and Kadar. Mm-mm-mm.
This guy.
At the same time, in order to ensure the continuity of eternity, these same 1,000,008,000,000 original gods continue to incarnate in the new people. They reside in the unconscious part of the person's mind and are called the mind of God, or the divine gift of ancestral memory, or what modern people call the spirit of God. Thus, every black person, even though he or she is born brand new, is simultaneously one of the 1,000,008,000,000 original gods. Only the personality is new. The spirit is old, even eternal. The 1,000,008,000,000 original people all withdrew from the divine unity except 24 people, 12 men, and 12 women. They became the kings and queens called the 24 elders, who are really 12 gods or 12 soulmate couples. The 24 elders are called the custodians of divine unity. The 12 gods chose 12 assistants each and called them the 144 chiefs. The gods divided the population into 12 tribes of 84 million people. They further divided each tribe into 6 clans and set 2 chiefs, a man and a woman, as the heads of each clan. The chiefs chose 1,000 people each and called them the 144,000 judges. They sent them in soulmate pairs all over the earth to set foundations for 72,000 cities. Each couple took about 14,000 people with them to establish their city. This was the basic organization of the Black Nation established by the original gods on the first earth. When other earths were completed and settlers sent to them, this organization was repeated and remains as the divine form of kingdom/queendom on every inhabited earth throughout the universe. The original gods also established 7 great rituals of initiation to be used by the leaders to elevate all new people to divine unity. God's purpose for creating universe after universe is to increase him/herself. I'm stopping right there. So we going through all this to increase. Well, I got well, increase what, mother? What is we increasing? I'm stopping right there.
Hey man, it's like I was saying earlier, bro. It's a storyline, man.
What's we increasing?
You just gotta go down the story, bro. Nobody
That
knows
man
the
said all that. 72,000 clan this, queendom that. And oh yeah, the whole purpose is to increase him or herself. See, this book messing my emotions, man. It's like I don't know. Anyway, you want me to keep going?
Hey, bro, you almost at the finish line, man. Don't stop now.
Hey, it's playing my emotions, man. All right, God's purpose for creating universe after universe. That made me want to fight. It's like stop creating universes, motherfucker. What are you talking about? God damn, bro.
Hey, man, bored.
But this, man, okay. Ooh, that's interesting, man. All right, one more time. That one just hits me. It's like, why? Like, anyway, God's purpose for creating universe after universe is to increase himself/herself. Every person who completes the 7 great rituals becomes full God, exactly like the original people. At that moment of completion, God rediscovers himself slash herself anew, as if he slash she had never existed before. That is how God renews himself slash herself, thus overcoming the stagnancy that would be the case in an eternally all-knowing being who never changes. In addition to these 7 great rituals, the original people also established many other rituals and customs covering every area of science and life. They then initiated the leaders of their descendants into this knowledge before passing. The initiation rituals have been faithfully transmitted from generation to generation since the beginning. Okay. On our earth, this form of divine rule existed uninterrupted for 78 trillion years. Okay. See, now you're really messing with me. We was good for 78 trillion years until 6,000 years ago, when a certain god decided it was time for all the other gods, you and me, man, fuck that god, to experience that part of us contained in what is called the non-creative recessive light germ. Who is you to decide that? Goodness gracious. He calls the birth of new races of people the non-blacks, who would be the vehicles to manifest all that is in that gene. Man, it's getting too beefy, man. It's getting too beefy, Kadar.
Hey, bro, you almost there, man.
This
Two
is a
more
lot. This,
paragraphs.
this is this is a summary of a century. Goodness gracious. Goodness.
Shit,
All right.
longer than a century, bro. Longer than a century.
All things, without exception, are contained in God. God will experience all that is contained in him slash her. He slash she knows all, but has not experienced all. He slash she uses the creation for this purpose of experiencing all that is known, including what is called evil. Whoa. Hence, 6,000 years ago, a god by the name of Yahweh, called Yakub in other ancient scripts, was born here on our earth. He, together with about 60,000 volunteers, who the hell volunteer? Oh my God. He, together with about 60,000 volunteers, who are called the Elohim, made the non-blacks in our image. They made them by suppressing the dominant black gene and slowly unfolding the recessive light gene over a period of 7 generations of offspring, or 200 years. This caused the appearance of the first light race, born to black people. After another 200 years of deliberate and careful breeding, they caused the second light race to appear out of the first. Then 200 years later, the third race appeared, and finally, 66 years after the appearance of the third race, yellow race, the fourth race, Caucasians, appeared. These 60,000 people, Yahweh and the Elohim, thus initiated the modern age, and the process that would eventually bring our divine kingdom to a temporary end. That, in brief, is the sacred history leading from the first earth to our earth, and to the present situation or cycle called evil, which was preordained to last for 6,000 years.
Hey,
I ain't
man.
reading this book. I ain't reading this book.
Hey, man, hold
I
on.
can't read
Give
this
me
book.
just a second.
Man.
All right. All right.
That's too much.
Bro, that man. That summary, bro. That was more than a summary right there, man. That, you know, when you go to the restaurants and they try to give you like an appetizer, you know what I mean? Get your palates, you know what I mean, ready for the main course.
Yeah.
Bro, that summary was an appetizer that was big enough for 3 people. I'm full now, bro. I don't even want to go to the main course.
I need
Check, please. Like what?
I need to go plate for the appetizer.
Yeah, man. All right, so I think it goes without saying to all the people that's going to be listening and watching us talk and pretty much just vibe out. Everything that we're talking about is derived from the book Black Roots Science. JB knows more about like the actual author and everything. I'm just pretty much along for the ride. Uh,
Yes.
when it comes to the knowledge that this book kicks, just like anything in life, you got to take the good with the bad. You got to take whatever you believe to be true, whatever you believe to not be true, and just pretty much be patient with the whole concept in and of itself. Like nothing in this world is like 100% fact. Uh,
Right.
and shoot, we're just gonna go from there. I think that's pretty much as big of a disclaimer as I can give.
Yeah,
So yeah,
and
man.
the thoughts and views of this book, this pamphlet, they do not um represent our thoughts and views necessarily. It's just food for thought.
Yeah, man. So first thing I want to talk about, bro. 78 trillion years? Like there weren't no animals on the planet. You know what I mean? There was no dinosaurs, none of that for 78 trillion years.
That's what it said.
It was pretty much like, or at least that's what I heard, or that's what I thought I heard. Like it said that the people was first. You know what I mean? The animals came second after the people.
It
I mean,
said divine rule existed.
mm-hmm.
And they had to have some animals doing something.
Nah,
It
bro.
just
Like
said,
at the beginning, it said something to the animals, which was like the creation of the totems or something like that. I think it was like page 5.
on our earth, this form of divine rule existed uninterrupted for 78 trillion years. Experience. I don't know. My whole thing is, I don't know. See, I say, I don't know. I be wanting to call BS because I don't know. Man. 78 trillion. Like, who counted that? Who, like,
That always be
who,
my like. That always be my premise
you know what I'm
of
saying?
rebuttal. Like, dude, who was actually around that time to like
Right.
verify this date? Like, we can say shit happened a million years ago, but I mean, if you ain't got no logical like linear connection of all right, this person passed on that story, that person passed on that story, that person passed on, like if you ain't got that line of facts or evidence, like bro, everything you saying has a possibility of being lies.
Mhm.
But I mean that's not like why we're going over the book. We're going over the book because it brings to the table a line of
Yeah.
thought. You know what I mean? And shit, we just got to be patient throughout the process. Like not really reading this book to judge it as we go, but just reading the book and talking about how it inspires our own perspectives.
Yeah. True. True.
But
So what?
I know this thing says something about a totem, man. Let me see how you do the little fine thing.
Yeah, go.
Totem. Okay, here we go. So the 1,000,000,008,000,000 original people then proceeded to instantly create perfect plants and animals, called the original totems, from which all evolutionary life forms evolved. That was page 7. It was closer towards the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like literally that first sentence, the first complete sentence. Yeah, man. So like when cuz say 1.8 billion, you know what I mean? Like we talking about people you can pull a skin type thing, or we talking about like energy forces. like what so from a religious like Christian standpoint, when God said let there be light, was it one God saying that, or was it like a freaking you know what I mean? Well, I guess technically in this little book he talking about the Yahweh, because ain't that what they call God?
Well, that's what I'm saying, man. It's
Yeah, that
it's
that one
saying
that one guy was like, "Yo, we need color out here." You know what I mean? We need difference of people. Let there be light.
yeah, that's
Literally,
funny.
literally.
Yeah, that's funny. I mean, yeah, yeah. I mean, but I'm like, I don't know. My whole question is my whole curiosity is right in this summary. It's like why it say the whole purpose is God going to increase him or herself. I'm like, for what? And it say to experience, but for what though? You know what I'm saying? Oh, because we need a larger universe. For it's like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know about. Oh no, I'm just personally. I'm saying I wish there was some more concrete like it really ain't no sources or no other info that I can go off of. This
Yeah.
it's like only books like this. So you know what I'm saying? So I ain't too fond of that info. But the whole gist overall of like, okay, these colors were genetically breeded and this is how it was done. Okay, I could see that concept and process, and that helps me understand maybe how we got to where we at. You know what I'm saying? But he gonna have to. He ain't got me sold on this whole increasing, and we here to increase and all this. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Maybe, because I went through this. I went through this book, but I ain't necessarily like I said, he ain't showed me on a few concepts.
Yeah. I mean,
But
but that's what I'm trying to like say to you as well as say to the people that's gonna be watching. Like it's not even about being influenced on what the guy is saying as if he's saying this as 100% fact. Because you got to remember, nothing is 100% fact. Like even the laws of the universal laws and everything like that, like gravity. Yeah, gravity. You drop something and then it drops, right? I mean, you literally let something go in midair and it drops. But that only happens in a certain context of space. You know what I mean? In a different context of space, that same law of gravity does not work. You drop something and it literally floats
yeah,
midair. And so that's what I'm trying to say, man. Like it's not that we reading this on some like trying to convince ourselves somebody else's truth. We're just reading it to hear what somebody else's truth is and to like shit to bounce ideas off of it. I mean, be creative at the end of the day. Like the concept that he was saying about shoot, what was that concept? We had stopped early on. I had said something about it. Dang man, I gotta freaking reference this book every time I think about something. Yeah, bro. Like it's like yo, he hit on a lot. Like Jesus, he hit on a lot.
yeah. They existed for a
Oh
trillion years.
yeah, the concept of you know what I mean when people say that we were made in the image of our gods or however you say it.
Oh man,
He literally said that in the book, but just in his own words and saying that black people were made from the image of space itself, like the ether. You know what I mean? And it's just like, dang,
oh yeah.
that's a pretty cool little spin on the concept. I mean, I can see where that can definitely be a fact, but yeah, nah. It's like, all right, so then in that case, our spiritual like magnetism that happens to our physical, it's like the spiritual ether, the energetic ether, that space of just straight full on energy. It's like it damn near have a mind of its own, bro. Like,
Mm. Well,
could you imagine that though? Like,
it's intelligence is what you saying?
yeah, but I'm
Yeah.
saying, could you imagine that though? Like, that's like saying a tree go through photosynthesis to grow itself, but at one point in time, the tree like, man, I don't even want to stay here no more. I'm just gonna pick up my roots and walk away. You know what I mean? Like,
How you saying that happened with what humans?
no, I'm saying that's the concept of what I'm getting from when he's talking about how the space itself created people based off of its own darkness image. You know what I mean? Like that's an active thought right there. Like he's literally saying that energy came up with a thought and created a plan
Right.
of action to make that
Yeah,
thought
no,
happen.
yeah, Yeah, pretty interesting.
Yeah, man. Like that's. I mean, in that case, I'm literally saying the same thing. And well, I'm putting it into a different context. But like literally, a tree going through photosynthesis to grow itself, and then eventually just come to a thought where it's like, well, I don't want to grow right here. I want to grow in the Galapagos Islands. I mean, pick up my roots and go ahead, do a little hop and skip over there real quick. You know what I mean? Plant my roots over there. Like, could you imagine that? Like that would be trippy, bro. I would be scared, happy, sad, mad, all that. I'll feel all that at one time. Like, yo, y'all see this dang tree walking?
But
This tree,
I think that's what's happening. It's just not on that level in this during these times.
yeah,
I agree. That's what happens. Remind me of it sounds like flubber, something like something that was made, except for it was just some black goo, and then that black goo turned into everything we see now.
yeah,
It's just
yeah,
wow.
man, yeah, man. Another thing that kind of like kicked me down a little rabbit hole was this damn dog. Um, was when he pretty much said that like the guys put their own consciousness into the next generation. You know what I mean? And that
Mm.
context or that concept of everyone has God within them. I fully believe in that concept.
Yeah,
What he articulated is he pretty much tried to bring with his story form the source of that concept, which is pretty cool, man. Like it's selfish in a way if you think about it. Like y'all are some really self-pretentious motherfuckers that you really want to be living that long to say, all right,
yeah.
my thought, my intellect, my wisdom should definitely go on. You know what I mean? So let me put this into the next person. It's like what? Nigga, we can't figure nothing out for ourselves. God dang, what's up?
But
Sheesh.
but see, but what is self though?
You
Like if
said
it's
what itself?
saying, yeah, it was saying that basically there was no individual,
Mm-hmm.
and that although you may have had individual bodies, the mind was one cohesive operating system,
Hmm.
just spread across like all the bodies, and it was saying that's where all the power come from. And then we always hear, oh, the mind is mental and all this, and that's why we want our minds going everywhere. But focus, I'm like, it's interesting. It's just interesting, man. Like the power of people focusing on the same thing consistently
Mm-hmm.
that always do some damage. But in this case, I don't know. I be using my imagination. It's like it's like I said, this summary it's kind of beefy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
And I definitely will say this though. Underlining tone. A lot of like black folks get self-worth when they hear about them being like the original people. Well, them when they hear us being about the original people. And
yeah.
um and just the concept of like positive versus negative, white versus black, all the other good contrasts and stuff. I like the fact that in this like summary, he actually says very specifically positive, negative. I don't mean negative in a derogative term. Like I literally just mean it in the contrast, in the opposite of positive. Like
Mhm.
negative energy is not negative,
Right.
meaning bad. Negative energy is just a repellent from positive energy. Like two negatives can't touch each other on a battery
Yep.
sense. Two positives, I think, can touch each other, but they don't do nothing. You know what I mean? Like there's no energy that flows through that connection. It has to be a negative and a positive to touch each other. I think I'm saying that right. If I'm saying that wrong, hey, everybody in the comments, blast me up, man. Just let me know. You know what I mean? Physics, it was not my best subject.
Oh, that's why he's trying to start on the physics section today. You know?
Hey man, look, this is education right here, bro. The type of education that we kind of needed back in the day, even if it's not like 100% factual education. Like I feel like the concept of where we come from is always it's always a concept in the back of people's heads, man. Like the story of origin, like why are we here, how did we get here, all those other good big ass questions that no one has a real answer to. I mean, it's always cool to just conversate on that. You know what I mean? Like, what do you believe? Like, literally, what do you believe? Like, how do you think we got here? Type shit. Like, shit. To me, it's just a matter of it. It kind of is what he said about like the whole spiritual. The things just flow out there. You know what I mean? And then it just whenever it gets that physical pull to a body, it just comes to that body. But two questions always pop up in my head when that's the case. The first one, when does the spirit choose to actually connect with the body? Meaning, like, if your spirit, when you die, or when I die, when my spirit goes in back into that ether space, like, when do we choose to come back into a physical space on some reincarnation shit? The second question is, how do we like stick to just one body? You know what I mean? Like throughout the whole lifetime process, like when you think about it, when you go to sleep, every time you go to sleep, your spirit is doing whatever the hell it want to do. Your mind is still running. Like, why does it come back to the body? Like, are we trapped in this body since we chose it, or you know? What I mean, it's just I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, that shit get me down
Well,
the rabbit hole, man.
he has a section on reincarnation.
Yeah, I mean, shit. To be honest, like that's the basis of it. Like the concept where we're literally spiritual beings trapped in a physical form, and when our physical form perish, we just go back to being spiritual beings, which that's that's literally the basis of what reincarnation is. So that spirit comes back into another physical form, but that comes back to my two questions: when do you choose, and why do you stay? Like, what's stopping you from just leaving this body? You know what I mean? like what's stopping my spirit from just saying fuck it, I don't want to be here no more, and just you know what I mean? Like I don't know why that choice isn't an option. But um kind of actually go back to the concept that these like hippie folks talking about nowadays, astral projections and stuff like that. You know what I mean? That shit, I don't know, bro. That shit hitting on a lot of levels. It's hitting on a lot of levels. Well, shit. How's it hitting it for you, bro? I damn near want to spark one up right now.
Smart. Yeah, how you going?
I had one of the real high conversation, like so. Let me get this straight. What he
Yeah, I'm
trying to
about
say
to roll up.
is,
I'm about to roll up anyway, man.
you're like, what he trying to say is, it's not that we all black, but it's that we don't stay to the light, which makes us look black. So if we were to get closer to the light, then we would look a little bit lighter.
Yeah, you funny, nigga.
I see where this is going.
I think I I
Oh
see
man.
that way. Niggas be high as shit.
I see where
I
this is
see what
going.
you're talking about, man. Thick ass.
Hey, bro, motherfuckers be having like epiphany ass moments, bro, where you really like high as shit, like high as
And then
shit.
you forget them.
Oh yeah, you
I
forget
hate
them
when
all
you
the time.
forget them. I hate when.
Yeah, you
But see,
forget
we
them all
good
the
though.
time.
We recording, so you
You
see,
forget them all the time, bro.
we record. See, I ain't gonna lie. That summary, like I said, this book, I got interesting relationship with this book. Man, I had this book for about what I want to say at least over 5 years,
Mm-hmm.
and I being like I'm saying, I'm accepting some of this stuff. It's kind of stood the test of time. Like okay, I'm seeing this in that book. I'm seeing this here. I'm seeing that there. Some things are just like okay, but you know what I'm saying. It really, some of these concepts it pushes me out of what I don't know what to call it a comfort zone, and it challenges the same thing I'm challenging. It's just he just coming from his walk of life, so It's just like it's a good thing. It's not bad. It's just like maybe through us doing what we're doing, maybe we will uncover a whole nother aspect. You know what I'm saying with your brain, because the way I'm seeing it, shoot, I don't know, man. It got me just want to go deeper, you know.
And that's the thing, though, bro. Like I said, man, the conversations itself are naturally dope. Like people already have these conversations. A lot of times, people don't even have the words to articulate these conversations, but they are thinking it. And so it's like, bro, all we literally got to do is create the space for these conversations, create the community that is revolved around having real life conversations, regardless of your background, regardless of your belief system. You know what I mean? And like get back to that oneness, because literally we all are. That's literally, in my opinion, what we searching for, like that divine oneness. You know what I mean? Like obviously bringing in different cultural languages, you can't really like speak for somebody else that doesn't really even speak your language. Like I can't really speak for a person that only speaks Mandarin, or I can't really speak for a person that only speak Italian or French, or for a person that only speak in African dialects. But I'm pretty sure at the very core of everybody, this is my own personal belief, that we're literally just trying to find that oneness, man, that connection.
Well, you agree with the writer.
Yeah, that sense
That's
of
what he
like
said right there.
that sense of like ultimate belonging.
It's a in a state of mind called divine unity or the oneness of God.
Yeah, like literally, that's where we're trying to go to, man. We're trying to find space back into the center, or find a way back into the center. Let me say it like that.
I like that. But see,
Nah,
it take
man,
work, you know. As long we gotta see, you know.
it's
Hopefully, we find some, huh?
Are you telling me it take work?
What?
Look in the mirror, man. Tell yourself.
Man, nah.
I've been trying to tell you all we gotta do. And that's the cool part about it, bro. Like our natural conversations, how we vibe, how we've been vibing since day one. Like our natural conversations is the work. Like that's the cool shit about it. Like we ain't gotta think about this shit. Like literally we just be our natural creative selves and have a conversation. And that is the work.
No. The conversation, that's one thing. But what this thing is talking about, getting on the same, that's the conversation is the start. Yeah. But I don't know. I'm saying I'm trying to see what else. I don't even know what else it takes after the conversation.
But that's the thing though, bro. That's what I'm trying to like bring to the epiphany for both of us, is that all we gotta do is play our part. We ain't gotta be the point guard, the shooting guard, the small forward, the power forward, and the center, and the coach. You know what I mean? And the freaking GM. Like we ain't gotta be all those players. We just gotta be the player that we are. And the player that we are is whatever comes natural. Like there's going to be another player that hears what we do or sees what we do, and that just naturally gravitate to it because they are on that same wavelength. They're on that same frequency. As a lot of people talk about, a lot of vibrations. And then they just gonna naturally jump onto the squad. You know what I mean? And eventually it's gonna be like, all right, cool. Well, we the creative people that's behind like the brainstorming, you know what I mean, mastermind conversations and stuff. The collective communion, as most churches used to call them, or as most spiritual practices used to call them, not religion, but spiritual practices. Like we're the source of elders and philosophers getting together and just having like those deep thought conversations. But from those deep thought conversations sparks everything. It sparks art, it sparks science, it sparks math, it sparks just like a whole renaissance of just thought. You know what I mean?
Well,
And it's just like, bro, we literally just gotta have those conversations.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Well, I'm glad you bold enough to go over this book, cause you know this book is touching on some stuff that could potentially hurt some feelings.
Right, and that's the thing, bro. Like that's something that we damn sure have to start having more of. And what I mean by that is we have to start
hurt feelings.
Hurt
Hurt more people's feelings.
Yes, I ain't saying kill nobody. I ain't saying kill nobody. What I'm saying though is have like actual disagreement, intellectual disagreement conversations. You know what I mean? Like we're not supposed to be all friendly, buddy about everything, bro. Like there's some things that you don't believe in, and it's okay for you to voice that. Like I literally have conversations with people that consider themselves to be white racists and just have a freaking random ass regular conversation, bro. Like you can be believing about anything. It doesn't mean that I'm in danger. That's just your belief system. Now, if there is an actual form of danger, obviously do whatever you got to do to defend yourself. But what I'm saying is when a person has reached an intellectual standpoint in life, they understand the difference between a thought and an action. They understand that like we can all have different thoughts, but at the same time, it's all about where we formalizing our actions. And that's where it comes down to, bro. Like I feel like these conversations right here brings up the right questions to spark the right thoughts. Hurting people's feelings, I'm gonna always give that disclaimer, bro. Like this book is not something to like take as truth. There's nothing that's 100% fact. That's what I believe. And at the end of the day, just be patient with it. Listen, I'm not saying you directly, but I'm saying like the people that's listening. Be patient with it. Don't like hear something and then immediately turn it off because it's not what you believe in, because it's not what you practiced already in life, or not what your parents practiced you or taught you. It's like, nah, just be calm, breathe a little bit, stick with the
Yeah,
concept,
and
shit, it'll grow.
and go through the book with us.
Yeah, exactly.
For
Like
those
they're
that's tuned in,
right.
we
Like
all going through this experience together.
exactly, and that's the main concept of it, bro. Like I was about to say there's this one real good um music video. I forget the guy. He was a black dude, but he pretty much like created that concept of a white racist talking to a black person.
I know
Um,
you're talking about.
yeah, and they was just like sitting at a table type stuff, and the rap in and of itself was pretty much just looking at it from both sides, like how the black people feel like they're being mistreated, or whatever have you, and then how the white people feel like they're being mistreated. Like you're mistreated from both sides is valid. Like it really is from both sides. It's really valid. It's just a matter of being patient through talking it out. That way we can bring it to a level of understanding. You know what I mean? From both sides. Like I can understand from a black man's side, like how certain abilities or certain opportunities isn't presented to me just based off the color. And I'm cool with that. I understand it. I also understand from having conversation with some white folks who are like white trash or trailer trash or whatever they want to call it, how they feel like, yo, majority of everything that we do for this country, our work, our taxes, all this other good crap, is pretty much being benefited to the people that can't afford nothing, the poor people, minorities, or whatever have you. You know what I mean? People that's in poverty. Like they feel like they're literally paying taxes to pay off somebody else's bill, which isn't fair at all. Like you would feel bad too if you had to fucking pay somebody else's family bills. You know what I mean?
Man, yeah, that's real, man. That's real, man.
Yeah, and that's where like I feel like yo, our conversations, bro. Man, this shit gonna hit on a whole different level, man. All we gotta do is just be consistent. That's it.
Yeah,
That's
well,
it.
we
I can
get
see
it,
right
man.
now, man, somebody cussing me out up in one of our meetings, and I'm just laughing this shit off. Like, I apologize for offending you, man. Now let's get active. Like, let's get active. What's the issue? You know what I mean? Not even saying this on something like, yo, I'm gonna find out where you at so I can like shoot you up or like fight her or something like that. Nah, but
Hey,
let's
but
get
some of
active
these
on.
YouTubers, yeah, they taking it there, boy.
Yeah, but
And
that's the
that's what
thing
I'm
though.
saying. That's why I want to be a part of this effort, because the people that I was following on YouTube
Hmm.
and stuff, I'm just gonna say they didn't let me down, man.
But that's the thing though. He said, what you said,
They let me down, man.
bro, you sound like you lost a friend.
Yeah, man.
Hey, but that's what I'm saying though, man. Like, as long as we stick to the script and we got the script written down, we already know why we're doing this. Um, the concept of it is that literally, bro, we not coming on to this intellectual conversation to bash people. Like the whole that's why I had brought up the concept of like a lot of black people get the self-empowered feeling when they say we're the original people and everything. But that's not to say that all other people aren't significant. You know what I mean? Like everybody matters.
Right.
Um, and that's the energy that we always bring to the table. You know what I mean? With any of our conversation. Like, yeah, we love ourselves, but just because we love ourselves doesn't mean we hate somebody else.
Right.
And I ultimately believe, bro, as long as we can like pretty much do what we do, as far as like be creative people and continue to do this conversation thing, we'll naturally find other people that are like financial investors or business type people, or you know what I mean, or other creatives that like want to hop onto the initiative of like doing something that's going to actually build up a community, build up a community of like collective energy going towards the same focus of oneness, going towards the same focus of that divine that divine oneness. I said it already. So
Mhm.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
be getting into my preacher mode every now and again.
No, no, we good. We already 50 minutes in, you know what I'm saying? So it's easy. I say, yeah, between us discussing the contents of this book section by section, I don't think we should try to go ahead to the next part today. I think that summary, I think yeah.
Oh, so remember, and this is kind of off the record too, but it's still gonna be on the record. I mean, I feel like the people that are gonna naturally fuck with us is gonna fuck with us because of our realness. Uh, we can record multiple like recordings in one day. We're just not gonna put them out in the same day.
Yeah.
So like, if you got time, bro, like we can literally stop this recording at 60 and then go on to the next part and just record the next part if you got time. Like I ain't saying you have to.
Yeah, no, we can do that. I'm gonna have to see what I gotta do real quick.
Yeah, like ultimately the reason why I say that is because it saves us future time. You know what I mean? Like we ain't gotta rush to record something every week if we already have stuff pre-recorded. That we can just pretty much put out something that week. If we have time, we can record that week. But if we
Yeah,
don't,
no, we can do that. We gotta get in the groove. We
yeah.
gotta get in the groove. But no, I'll just end this
Hey, before
end
you
this for
end,
now.
before you end, bro, you want to be petty and put on a different shirt, make it look like it's a different day.
Uh, we ain't gotta do that.
I know, bro. I was just making a joke.
Uh, but yeah, I like this. That's yeah, man. We just gotta just the main thing is being consistent. Let
Yo,
me
before you end it though, something that goes along with this concept. It was actually a poem that I wrote the other day. It's titled "Fight the Flight," and it goes, shoot, how do I pull this thing down? All right, there we go. Hold on. If only I can pull it up. Where'd it go? All right, it goes. To accept the now, one must relinquish the past as gone. Accept the possibility of history being forgotten and the future as time travel. Another character, same story.
say it again.
Titled Fight the Flight. To accept the now, one must relinquish the past as gone. Accept the possibility of history being forgotten and the future as time travel. Another character, same story.
Go.
Like literally that whole concept, man, and the shit was crazy, man. Because I was going to say that one before even we started the book, but like that concept of like we already was the divine, you know what I mean, energy, and all it is that we're just continuing to go into different personalities, our same spirit, different personalities. Like,
Yeah, you that's what I'm saying. You
hey,
saying what the book saying that same thing.
yeah, the shit. That's what I was saying, bro. Like that shit was weird because I was literally going to say that poem before we even started the book. I didn't even know what the book was even going to talk about in the summary tip.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying, man. That's why I ain't just threw that book away. Like, I still got my Bible and stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
that one, I got that one. I got a Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America. I got a Zohar. It's another one, the Kabbalion. It's a few of them, but none of them really like you say, it don't give me no sense of self identity like that.
Mm-hmm.
How
Yeah,
this book just kind of it hit a little different. So yeah, it's interesting, man. I
yeah.
was going. Hmm?
Two things I'm like focusing on right now within my religious, like, I guess, education. Is
Rastafari.
Rastafarianism. That's a long
Or
ass word. And
that in the spelling bee.
I know, right? And the Ma'at principles.
Oh yeah, them are some
Um,
good ones.
yeah. So like I'm pretty much I already knew for myself. Like I'm not really like religious in a sense of how dogma speaks on religion, but more like how most people say when they're not religious, they're spiritual. You know what I mean? Like they believe in a higher being, but they don't like follow the man-made like built of it. And what I really fuck with about what the my principles is pretty much principles to teach you how to just be a kind-hearted person, like a person that is not really out here to fuck people over. You know what I mean? Like to be an actual decent person. And then when it comes to the Rastafari, really belief system, it's not even really a religion to be honest. It's just look within self. You know what I mean? Like find that divine within you, and it just brings both of those together. So I'm on a new walking path right now, man, to elevate my spirituality, and those are my two guiding stones.
Yeah, well, those are some good guidance stones, man.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna take a break and see. But no, I'll just hit you if we can do. I'll hit you if we do a second one
all right, that's cool.
today.
That's cool. I got somebody else to call back here in like the next 15 minutes or so. Probably take another 45 minutes. So in the next couple hours, if you got time, we can do another one. But if not, it's cool.
Yeah, yeah, man. Let me get to these. Let's see what's up with this screaming baby.
All right, brother, man.
All
To
right, man.
everybody that's listening, peace and love.
Peace, y'all. Until next time.